We are live. I'm hoping we're live. Digital Cara, are we live yet?
Yes.
We are live,
Awesome.
ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, NIOA TV Livestream. And we have a special guest. Apart from our usual suspects, Bushy, Ken,
Good afternoon.
we have here from South Africa, okay, our favourite federal employee. This is Ferdi Kluever. Everyone, give it up for Ferdi Kluever.
Yeah. All right.
Here we
The
go.
crowd goes wild.
All the way from Melbourne.
Yeah. Yes.
There we go.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you very
that
much,
was-
mate.
that was pretty
Very
big,
happy to be
introduction.
here.
Oh,
How do
mate,
you
I
feel?
know.
I feel like I've been built up to beyond where I can supply.
All right,
Thank
first
you.
of all, okay, the first things we've got to do, make sure is, do we have sound?
Yep.
We have sound. All right, so that,
Awesome.
we're off to a good start. Now listen.
Probably better without it.
Oh. Well, listen, look, guys, today we've got a lot to get through. We've got a huge smattering of federal and CCI and Speer to get through. And I guess the purpose of today was for our valued clientele and discerning customers that are, very much interested in federal ammunition and CCI to get online. Make sure you ask your questions if you've got any questions you want. Ferdi is just an absolute fountain of knowledge. There is nothing he doesn't know about this ammunition. You can go in hard, all right? He will know exactly everything about what you want. Is that correct?
No, I'm a fountain of misinformation.
Okay.
Excellent. That's the next best thing.
All right, but Ferdi, look, mate, I thought what we might do, just to sort of, as we sort of start off, is just tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into this business with Vista.
Yeah, it's a long story. We'll give you the short version
Please.
of it. I had an air rifle from when I was 5 years old, and I used to give my air rifle pellets in my mouth. Most of
As
them.
we
anyway.
all
I
think
we've gone back too far
We've
already.
gone far too far.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
And
go.
then I think I got a 22 when I was 12 years old, and I grew up in an environment where shooting was just part of what you do, and it eventually evolved into a career and an interest. I'm a mechanical engineer by qualification, so I used to work in ammunition development as well. And I ended up with Vista, or Vista Group, which owns Federal and CCI and Speer. And now I have the pleasure of dealing with Bushy on a daily basis.
I like the way you called it.
That's
a
the-
pleasure. I noticed
That's the-
you stalled
the
just a
short-
little bit just
short
before you said
version of it.
pleasure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah.
All right, no, well, that's great.
I was looking for the right word.
Yeah. No, nice choice.
And I mean, I guess the other thing too is interesting. Tell us a little bit about your background with Federal, and obviously you're the international. Is it international sales manager for Federal?
Yes, that's
Okay.
right. So
And you just don't cover Australia, do you?
No, I cover Asia Pacific,
Yeah.
Africa, and Latin America for Federal CCI and Speer.
Okay. How's your Latin American?
Latin America is good. It's every market's very, very different. It's interesting, and the South African market, there's a lot of hunting, and in Australia we have a lot of varminting. In Latin America there's a lot of subsistence hunting. So it's very, and actually later we'll get to the
Yeah.
the categorization of
Yeah,
bullets,
yeah.
but in these markets, you have all the different requirements. The Australian market's particularly.
Well, I was
Of-
going to
of
say, I
interest
mean,
for Federal.
would Australia be one of your favourite markets?
Yes,
There
absolutely.
we go.
Absolutely.
That's what we're after.
Because,
all we want.
because we shoot a lot of ammunition here.
We do. Well, Bushy's
pulling the trigger.
Bushy's often said that we don't hunt here, do we? We shoot.
No, I categorise our business as 5% hunting and 95% shooting. So we're just keeping the numbers down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. So, mate, look, let's just have a quick chat before we get into all this gear about the factory at Federal Ammunition. Now, I haven't been to the factory at Federal Ammunition, never been invited, all right? So, here's the thing.
You're officially invited now.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, who have we got to talk to? Who up the chain, all right, do I need to talk to so I get an invite to the Federal factory?
You only have to talk to me, but I should warn you, we have some standards of admission over there.
Yes, you'd also end up frozen. It was minus 15 degrees when I was
really?
there.
That's when you make the mistake of going in midwinter. So the Federal factory's in Anoka, Minnesota, which is right up north in the American continent. that's where all the centerfire ammunition's manufactured, and also federal primers.
Is that where that, is it Jake lives? Jake
Yeah,
Morales?
Jake
yeah,
lives up
yeah,
there.
he's trouble.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then the CCI factory is in Lewiston, Idaho, so that's a little bit more to the west,
Yep.
but also quite high up in the north. CCI factory manufactures rimfire ammunition primers. We also have the Speer plant there that manufactures bullets, or mostly known for bullets, but also ammunition. And together, these three factories, which is, as it sits with the Vista Group, is the largest ammunition manufacturer in the world.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's great. Well, listen, part of today is for our guys on Facebook to ask questions, and on Instagram and all that sort of stuff. So we've got a couple of questions that have come through. So I thought I'd just put you on the spot, you know, if that's okay. So some people are asking, are Federal and CCI financially connected to one another?
Yes, they're owned by the same parent company, and Federal and CCI collaborate on some products, and some components are manufactured at CCI and Speer plants in Lewiston and then sent up to Anoka, and vice versa. So it's the same group of companies.
Okay,
really.
well, I mean, that sort of leads into our next question, was where in North America is CCI and Federal?
Yes, so sorry, I've
manufactured?
accidentally
Oh, yeah.
covered
So
all that
you've
already.
already answered all the questions. So there you go, your questions have been answered. So look, Bushy, you've sort of put together a bit of a smattering of what's sort of popular in our market and that sort of thing.
I would have used the word smorgasbord rather than smattering.
Yeah, but I guess what you want to sort of say is that this isn't the complete range, is it?
Oh, not at all, and it's not always the most popular. These are the things that are probably new and interesting over the last 12 to 18 months that some people wouldn't be aware of, and that's why it's a bit of everything, actually. Yeah.
Bit of a cross section.
Yeah, thought we'd just have a bit of a look at some of the not so mainstream cartridges.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So
Cool.
we have I think well over 1,000 different part numbers in ammunition products.
Wow.
Yeah, didn't have enough room here, mate.
It's
No.
not possible
No.
to put them all out here. We
Need a
just
bigger
made
bench.
selection. Yeah.
Well, it's funny. I think sort of maybe to kick things off and to start with the ammunition is actually something we don't have here to show. As a
So
sort of
Good
thing.
place.
We'll start with something we don't.
But
It's on the
like,
way.
you'll see it.
It's
Here
coming.
you'll see it here on the video. It'll be coming up very soon. It's the Federal bucket and bottle round. So Ferdi, maybe you want to kick us off on what the Federal bucket and bottle round is all about and how it came about.
Yeah, it's it's a bulk pack. The bucket specifically is a handy handled bucket that you can carry around with you. The bottle was designed, interestingly, specifically to fit the cup holder in a car, or a ute, but either or. But it's a way to create, I guess, a value pack, because high volume shooters aren't interested in packaging, absorbing packaging costs. So it's more economical to pack the ammunition like this, so you can offer it at a better price point.
Yep.
So clearly they're bulk packed into those buckets and bottles. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a way basically to offer more ammunition to the shooter at a better price, and it's also a convenience of storage thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
And the two symbols you can see there, we've got the actual bucket itself is what we normally call 745. So it's our high velocity 36 grain hollow point hunting ammunition. It's just in that, it's an 825 round pack, and it comes in at quite a reasonable price for a retail consumer to pick up and walk away with. The bottle, we actually had 200,000 of them, but they're gone, and we've got some more coming. And the bottle is actually 50 grain hollow point 22 Magnum. So it's two totally different cartridges, but interesting way of packing it, and it's already selling really well. We're just waiting for the buckets to come, and we're waiting for our second lot of bottles.
Well, it's interesting that you should sort of say that too, Bushy, because I think our next. Oh no, that's not. No, that's something else that I'm thinking of. But is that all you want to sort of say about the bucket and the bottle? Or?
Yeah, buy some.
Yeah.
We've covered the
They're
bucket and the
really
bottle.
popular.
Yeah, no, it's a great way to pack ammo. Yeah.
Yep.
Now, look, our next one that we want to talk about is this American Eagle suppressor. So I know we can't have suppressors here in Australia, but what would be the benefit of this sort of ammunition here, Ferdi?
Well, firstly, it is a subsonic round, so even if you use it without a suppressor, it's going to be quiet. It won't have the supersonic crack that you associate with that. One of the key things. This one is shall we say, another value offering. It's a 45 grain bullet. So
it's fairly heavy, in the 22. Yeah,
it's reasonably heavy, but because it's going at a lower velocity, you got to make it a little bit heavier because you still want good energy in the end. So it's all a trade-off. This is
So it's a 45 grain,
grain
solid round nose.
Solid round nose.
970 feet per second. So it's considerably slower than just a normal subsonic even, it's a very quiet little cartridge.
Yeah, but like as you said, have some energy though with that heavier
bullet.
With
a heavier bullet. So.
And just good knockdown for a varmint sort of thing?
Yeah, just close range stuff, it's not a long range cracker.
You wouldn't want to shoot it over very long ranges, she says. But
clearly something you're going to choose because you want it to be quieter. You can get something with a lot more knockdown if you want it.
All of these things that are in the subsonic range won't have that supersonic crack that you get with everything that's. Where's the split point? About 1,050 feet.
1,120 feet per second.
1,120 feet per second.
So,
but below that's subsonic. Over that's going to be supersonic. So anything under that's going to be quieter. But this is 970, right? Yeah, 970.
Yeah.
So it is at the higher end of the subsonic range.
Okay.
It's 50 feet below.
Yeah. Okay.
Sonic.
Look,
150.
If we could just go back to our
970?
It's 1150.
1150.
Yeah, but they only started with maths recently in South Africa.
We didn't have a calculator.
Still had the abacus. I'm a bit
Listen,
lost.
A couple of flat rocks.
I just want to take it back a bit to the bottle and the bucket. We've just had a question come through on the thing, and it's handy that we've got Ferdi here because you can take this to the bank, people. This is gospel. What you are hearing today from this man, write it down. All right. So they're asking: are the bucket and bottle both standard velocity, or are they different?
No, one's a 22 Magnum.
Yeah, so the bottle is the 22 Magnum. That is a high velocity. It's not a. Well,
it's about 1,700 feet, somewhere around there.
Per second. So it's a fast round.
Yep.
And the bucket was the
high velocity.
745 basically.
Yeah, and it's 1260 feet per second. So they're both of those are high velocity.
It's a 36 grain high velocity round. It's just packed in a bulk configuration.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, moving on from the suppressor, we're going to look at the American Eagle Varmint HP hollow point.
Oh.
Yes. So that's this one up here.
Yeah, look, everybody reaches for it.
Yeah. We're very helpful here.
Ferdi, you can tell everybody how I invented this.
Yes.
Yes. This is a Bushy invention.
Bushy is claiming the credit for this. This is if anything, as a 30 cal round that's suited for the Australian market, this is it. 130 grain hollow point. It's designed for, and I think this is probably the time to explain that I have this theory that there's only 3 types of ammunition. There's
Ferdi, tell us your theory.
My theory is that you have target ammunition, you have varminting ammunition, and you have hunting ammunition. And every type of ammunition is a subcategory of one of those. Yeah. Right. So this is a varminting ammunition. It's meant to shoot to, as you said, keep the numbers down. And you essentially don't care about meat spoilage or anything like that. You just want to humanely and quickly put down pest animals. So this is an excellent round for pigs.
Yep.
The hollow point immediately expands, creates a huge wound cavity, and
it just messes things up.
It messes things up. That was what I think that's the technical term that we agreed on. Yes.
Yeah, it messes things up.
It's packed in a really good value box like this. Again, trying to optimize on packaging cost. There's 40 rounds in this one, and it's a beautiful round for 308. Obviously, very, very popular.
It's the most popular 308 cartridge we sell.
Yeah, and that's not the only calibre though that we offer.
No, I was just going to ask Bushy, what sort of led you to approach Federal to ask for this sort of round?
Well, I've been selling Speer bullets for 43 years. And that's
the first time I hear that.
So the Speer 30 cal 130 grain hollow point has always been the most popular, other than maybe a 22 55 grain soft point. Always been the most popular projectile sold here because it's just, the results are devastating with this thing. The bullets don't come out of anything. They release all their energy and nothing walks away from them. Originally, I asked Vista to make this just in 308, and because it was our most successful 308 cartridge straight away, we also asked for 223, 22-50 and 243, which they are currently still making. And they're all with that Speer hollow point bullet. So the accuracy out of that little deep hollow point is quite surprising. We actually use this as test target ammunition when we're testing rifles. Yeah. It's that accurate. Yeah, it's amazing. But all those 4 calibers available, all at a good price, and they just really suit our market. They're just excellent.
It's actually, if you think of Speer bullets and the tradition, the legacy of bullet design that Speer has, you're getting a really good quality bullet.
Oh yeah, especially for the price they are now.
A great price.
Yeah.
Extremely accurate, very concentric, very consistent load. This is a great value for money.
Yeah.
Best control round. Yeah. Absolutely.
So part of your equation is when you're talking about your varminting type ones, it's a little bit more price conscious as well, right? Because it's for a more
you're
of a
looking
volume.
at volumes, yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So typically in hunting ammunition, the typical deer hunter isn't counting the cost as much as somebody who's keeping the numbers down.
Sure.
And it's interesting to note, like this cartridge, if we go back to this 308 ammunition, it's very common for a government department to buy 30,000 rounds at a time off us. They have strict protocols on what they're allowed to use to humanely dispatch animals out of a helicopter, and this cartridge outsells everything else for that.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So well done, Bushy, on that. And well done, Federal, for listening to Bushy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's some kind of a record. I think it's the first people that ever
It's the first time that anyone's listened to Bushy.
I listen to you.
Ah, yeah.
Thanks, Kenny.
All right, buddy. I'm here for you.
Well, listen, we're going to move
Well,
on.
that's that one.
So that's the American Eagle.
You're very quiet, Ken.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
Right.
This stuff's new. This stuff's good.
This is hot off the press.
This is hot off the press,
Talking
ladies and
about
gentlemen. This
that one.
is the Federal VMAX
There we go.
range.
Right.
Now, Ferdi, take us through this stuff, mate.
So what we've got here is a Hornady bullet. It's a 40 grain. We also doing 53 grain. So it's a VMAX. Federal load this. So it's a Federal branded product, but you can see the Hornady logo on there. So it's a Hornady VMAX bullet. This particular pack has 100 rounds in it. This is 2 to 3, right? Yep, 2 to 3.
Yeah,
So this is the 40 grain. We're also doing the 53 grain. That'll be available relatively soon. Again, geared at high volume shooting. So you got 100 rounds in this pack. There's no wasted packaging, anything like that. Really neat little, tight little pack. And our philosophy is to load the bullets that people want. We make great bullets ourselves, but there are a lot of people that would like a Federal load with a Hornady bullet. So we listened to that market segment and we created this.
Well, actually, you're right, Ferdi, because about 2 weeks ago I was just down at the shooting range and I ran into a guy who was telling me that earlier that month he'd gone out west, and out west he needed some ammunition. So he'd gone out west and then gone to the local gun shop there, and in the local gun shop he was talking to the dealer, and the dealer put on a video, and on that video... Okay.
I was wondering if this is the same
hang on
as the fireside
hang on
story.
a minute. Hang on a second. On that video was some actual Federal advertising, which was showing this particular round in a magazine. And as the guy was sitting in the chair reading the magazine, the article about this particular ammunition said it was quite good.
Oh, good. That's it.
Fascinating.
All right, so
that is the.
so there's
now
a
you know why you're here, Ferdi.
there's a
Yeah.
What?
there's a
Nobody
client,
just...
there's a coyote on the box, and interestingly enough, I didn't even suggest the animal that should be on there, but it's logical that if it works for that, this will be a great fox hunting.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 40
So foxes, feral dog, all of those kind of pest species, awesome. Going to be an awesome round for that. The VMAX bullet, great explosive expansion. They're very accurate, and this is a great load. Of course, it's federal brass, federal primers, our powders. So
it just
and
works.
best
It
of
just works.
best of everything, and then
It's not a premium price either. Like the price we've got from Federal on this is great. They also do a 22 to 50 and 40 grain. They do a 6.5 Creedmoor in 95 grain and a 308 in 110 grain.
Wow.
So they're all light Varmint VMAX bullets being driven at light speed.
That
So-
22 to 50, 40 grain. Can
Oh,
you imagine
yeah.
how that would
Yeah,
be?
yeah, yeah.
You're not going to eat that fox.
Yeah, no, that's not going to be pretty. Oh, we don't eat foxes
don't eat
here.
foxes.
No,
Oh.
you might, but we
I mean,
don't.
right, sorry.
maybe in South Africa you eat
Yeah.
They're
foxes,
not all in
mate. We don't
hundreds
eat
though, are
foxes.
they? Some of them are in 50s.
Yeah, the 308 and 6.5 are in 50s.
Yep.
I think they're, and 22 to 50, I think. But the 2 to 3 is definitely in hundreds, yeah.
Okay.
I think
Yeah,
it might
but-
be pertinent just
This
to
one
say.
is a 6.5 Creedmoor 95?
95, yeah.
95, okay,
Yeah.
yes.
Sorry, Ken, you wanted to say
Yeah, I was
something?
just going to say it might be pertinent at this point because as we go along here, you'll notice that Federal seems to be really, liberal with the bullets they load with and components
Yeah.
they load with. It seems that, we've got all sorts of. Already we've had the VMAX and we've had the
Hornady.
The Hornady. So what's the story there? They seem to be very happy to do this.
Yes, absolutely. It's not. It's like I said. If you look at that 53 grain VMAX bullet, the VMAX bullets themselves are very, very popular, and we have a good relationship with Hornady, and we're more than happy to load their bullets.
Well, I've seen you with Nosler ballistic tips as
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
with
We've got
Bergers.
burgers
Don't
here,
forget
we've got
Berger.
everything.
We've got to
Yeah.
come to see
Yeah,
the burgers later.
yeah.
But,
It's a
But we do-
smorgasbord.
oh, yeah.
We will be getting to one next that is one of our bullets.
Yes, in a minute. In a minute.
minute? Oh,
Because
we
what I want to
haven't
do is
covered that
just to
one yet.
remind everyone out there in Facebook land, get your questions in. You got a question regarding federal ammunition or CCI or Speer? Start writing. We've got Digital Cara and Digital Naomi. Give us a shout out, ladies. There we go.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, they're just as excited as they were last time.
Yeah.
Just for all the ladies out there, Ferdi is married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about
So
that.
don't bother sending that one in.
No.
Yeah.
Hi, Natasha. She's watching.
Is that your wife?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Right.
Yeah, good. No, dodged the bullet there.
Yeah,
All right,
good
so
answer.
Now listen, I happen to know for a fact that this next cartridge
Oh, this is.
is what absolutely makes Ferdi moist. I tell you,
I don't think you're allowed to say moist on site.
he
No.
loves this cartridge.
Right, here we go. Here you go, Fed.
Fusion.
Ferdi, go for it.
I think this is where I can start getting away now with some stuff. So yes, I want to. This is so Feral Fusion. This is the most the best kept secret, I think, in many ways in hunting ammunition. Now, we spoke earlier about varminting ammunition, hunting ammunition. The difference being that with hunting ammunition, you still want a humane kill, but you also want to not spoil the meat. You don't want little fragments of bullet all through everything.
Yeah.
You want as little meat spoilage as possible. You want a good deep penetration, good what some people call mushrooming, expansion, great weight retention on a bullet, and good penetration. Ideally not over penetration, not going right through the animal, but ideally the perfect one round would be that stops just under the skin of the animal on the other side. No, seriously, if you can just cut it out on the other side, that's the perfect shot. So Feral Fusion, the bullet in this is what sets it apart from everything else. It's a molecularly fused jacket. So the jacket and it starts off with a pressure formed lead core, and the jacket is then molecularly, one molecule at a time, bonded up to the required thickness on the outside of the bullet. The bullet is then swaged and finely formed with a tip machine to give precise grain weight, precise geometry. The concentricity is excellent, but the most important thing is the weight retention and the expansion on these bullets are typically expand to 3 times their diameter. So 30 cal, 3006, 308 would typically expand to 0.9 inches, almost a full inch. Weight retention typically 90% plus. The price point of these rounds is not much more than unbonded ammunition. We've been trying really hard in South Africa, for example, and in New Zealand, where there's a lot of meat hunting and meat harvesting.
Yeah.
This is what people use.
Okay.
We sell this. It's a huge seller. Am I holding it upright?
Yeah,
Yes.
no,
Good.
You're doing well.
He's standing upright too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a massively popular cartridge for people who do meat hunting, and we do that in Australia down south where I live. There's quite a lot of that going on. This is what you want to use for that. It's completely awesome.
Yeah.
I personally guarantee the performance.
Look out.
Yep.
Look out.
And it's got a range from what, 243 all the way up to 300 Win Mag. So
Wow.
it covers all the popular
All
calibers.
the popular hunting calibers. We even make it now in a 375 Magnum as well, H&H Magnum.
Yeah, you don't sell it to me though.
Well, if you want, we can.
Oh,
It can
you've
be
got to
arranged.
offer it first.
Yes.
No, so it'd be really worthwhile. For
That was
some-
a special request from the South Africans. They wanted
Yeah,
a
right.
375 Magnum, so we're doing that 300 grain 375 H&H. The one I personally use is 180 grain in my 300 Win Mag, and it is
Is that your favourite calibre?
that is my favorite caliber.
Yeah.
Yes, 300 Win Mag. For deer hunting, so down south where we have the sandbar deer, the 300 Win Mag. This one 180 grain fusion load is. I don't think there's anything better than that.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
So,
there you
yeah.
go. That's
Give it a
federal
go.
fusion.
Give it a
That's
go.
Ferdi
Give it a go.
approved.
good.
30 approved.
good
He's
price on
guaranteed it.
I
Folks,
do personally guarantee it.
30
Personally
approved.
guaranteed.
FA.
And the bullet itself is made in the Speer factory.
Yeah,
so
because
yeah, okay.
it's actually the same technologies they use for gold dots, isn't it?
Yes,
The gold dot
it comes
law
from-
enforcement ammunition.
from gold dot
Yeah.
technology
Yeah.
originally, which was then adapted to this to
Yeah, no, it's
hunting ammunition.
awesome thing.
But it's another example of where Federal and Speer really work collaboratively on a product like this to
Yeah.
come up with something that you otherwise couldn't do.
Exactly.
Awesome.
So listen, still keep sending in your questions. We've actually had a few questions. You might have heard me laugh before. That's because we did have a question come in asking, what does fox taste like? So
Pretty much like dog, I believe.
I don't know. So
Yeah.
It's not that different from dog.
Right.
Right. Well, that's sure to get the
you know what the
fans
question?
wondering.
I think as a smoked fox carpaccio, it'd probably be good. Everything's good as a smoked
Carpaccio, yeah, well, we just smoke it enough.
you smoke
You roll your own when you do that, or you actually use a fork?
Okay, don't knock it till you've tried it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, I suppose you'll eat anything if you're hungry
There's,
enough, I
there's
guess.
not a lot of meat on a fox, though, really, is
No.
there?
Oh, no.
They're scrawny little things when you get the coats off.
I'd have to be pretty hungry to eat one, I reckon.
Yeah.
I could probably eat a whole
They
one of
don't-
them
They
too.
don't smell too good.
No.
No, they don't.
No.
No.
Let's move on.
Listen,
Right,
let's,
sorry.
Let's move on. And now, listen, we were talking before about how Federal uses a lot of different bullets, like the Hornady and whatever. But now we're going to look at the Berger gold medal.
Right, so that's this one over
Yeah,
here.
yeah. So
Yes,
this is
match ammunition.
Some match type ammo. Now, Ferdi, give us the lowdown on this stuff, mate.
Right, so when we decided to load this bullet, it was based on the fact that the Berger bullets are the bullet of choice for the PRS shooters in the States. It's by far the most popular bullet. Very, very concentric, very close tolerances, very good ballistic coefficient on all the Berger bullets. So yes, again, we decided to marry it with our cases, our Federal primers, which, as everyone knows, is the best primer in the world. And the result is that you can go and buy this, and if you want to know if your hand loads are really getting up there in terms of accuracy, compare it with this. Shoot the same as
Yeah.
your rifle, and if you get better, you'll have to hand load extremely good to get anywhere
Oh,
near
yeah.
this stuff.
It's amazing. They actually accuracy test this at 200 yards
Yes.
Yeah, right.
in an underground tunnel. I've
Yeah.
seen it. Yeah, it's pretty
You have to,
impressive.
because it's so accurate that at 100 yards,
Yeah, no point.
Yeah, there's no point.
Yeah.
You're just going to be shooting one hole.
But it is something we sell, especially if somebody buys a Savage tactical rifle off us or an RPR Ruger Precision or something like that, and they actually want to get the performance of the rifle straight off. They buy this and then maybe they hand load later or something. But this tells them just how good the rifle will be.
Yeah, and if you buy this, you'll have some great cases.
Oh
anyway, if you're
to load.
in hand loading, shoot a few packs of these, and you'll have some good brass.
So Ferdi, I think this might be a good time to sort of say, you know, we're seeing a lot of different type of packaging here with Federal. I'm just wondering, you've told us earlier that Federal are looking at rebranding their packaging or different colours, or what are they doing?
Yeah, it's not so much rebranding. We all know that generally speaking, the American Eagle packs have had a red general tone, PowerShock generally blue, Fusion generally orange, and then we've had this kind of on the gold medal range, this kind of package. So we're now going to packaging which just has those main colors, has all the caliber information, all the bullet information. It will always be consistently in the same place. I've seen the new packaging. It's basically simplification of the range, because we make such a wide range of ammunition products that just getting it sort of organized so that you can more quickly see exactly what's what.
So will the Fusion pack change? Because that's always been quite a loud, yellowy.
Yes. The Fusion pack will change.
Yeah,
It's still going to be a beautiful pack. It'll be an overarchingly orange pack. You won't mistake it for anything else. One of the big differences is that these Fusion packs didn't really, other than the Federal Shockwave, which is a tiny shockwave down there, you didn't really know it was a Federal product.
Yeah.
But now it'll be clear.
Yeah, be branded
as a Federal product. Because not many people knew that Fusion was a Federal product before.
I guess the main message here is that we're showing a few things here, but there is likely to be some packaging changes in the future. So don't be concerned about that. The product inside remains the same, but there will be some changes in the packaging.
And you won't have any trouble at all recognizing the packs.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen some of the artwork on the new packs, and they've got the big shockwave on front.
Yes, so you've got the big shockwave, and it's all in the same place. It's more of a tidying up of the packaging.
Looks good.
Well, gentlemen, we're going to move on, and we're going to look at the Federal V-Shock Nosler ballistic tip.
Take it away, Bushy.
Oh, yeah, look, I just thought I'd throw this in because we used to have a Federal 220 Swift round. They discontinued it a few years just because they didn't have capacity to make it, and they brought it back now because there's only one or two manufacturers still making Swift. Great little cartridge, but as we said, like here we go, that's got a Speer bullet, that's got a Hornady VMAX, that's got their own Federal Fusion, that's got a Berger, this has got a Nosler ballistic tip. I mean, you just can't get better variety in ammunition. You get anything you want now, brand. It's good stuff.
Yep.
Well, that's all that was for.
And there are other ballistic tip varieties as well in other calibers.
Yeah,
endless.
What's the calibers?
Anything you want, mate.
Okay, there you go. Anything you want.
There you go.
Simple.
That was pretty simple.
Righto, okay, well, moving on. Let's not muck about here. Okay, so the next thing is now Bushy. Oh, this is new, and this is exciting. This is the Federal 450 Bushmaster.
And this is
in the
this is in the new
that's
new
new PowerShock ammo.
So where you have this, the PowerShock, it's overarchingly a blue pack. You're going to have with American Eagle, you'll have a red. With Fusion, it'll be orange, but you'll still have down there the grain weight, the bullet type, and on the end here you also have all this information in the same place rather than at different places on the pack. So the 450 Bushmaster.
Sorry, Ferdi, I'll just interrupt you there. Just for people that are watching, Digital Car and Digital Naomi are putting up the links to these particular boxes from our website. So as Ferdi's talking about it, you can click on the link and it'll take you there, give you a lot of extra information about the cartridge. So over to you, Ferdi.
You can also check if Ferdi's lying to you.
Yeah, correct.
I please don't fact check me. So I'll be completely honest and say I've not personally shot the 450 Bushmaster.
Neither have I.
Yeah.
But what I understand is that as a nice big straight-walled hunting cartridge, There's where did you say it originated from, Bushy?
Well, it's an AR derivative because it's got a 308 head size, and they just put a rebated rim on it. And you know, obviously in the US they're just selling it as a 450 semi-auto, but we've got a Savage and a Ruger in it, and we're actually selling quite a few of them. In fact, we're going to do TV on one soon because we'd like to have a go at it.
If you have a nice shorter barrel bolt action gun with this, it's a great round for pigs.
Yeah, it's pretty similar performance to 4570, not that far off it. Yeah.
Nice big 300 grain jacketed hollow point in this case.
And that's a federal bullet, isn't it?
That's a federal bullet.
Yeah,
absolutely. And it's a very popular caliber. I'm thinking about getting one for myself.
Yeah, well, after we do our TV, mate, you'll get 2.
Guns?
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Oh, great.
There's a review. We had Aussie Reviews did a test
Shout out to
on.
Aussie, yeah.
So if you, he liked it a lot, and as a matter of fact, he ended up getting one then because it shot really well. So if anybody wants to see a good review on that, check out Aussie's
Bushy,
website.
what would you recommend that for? Just a good scrub gun?
For big pigs and things like that. I'm an old 4570 shooter, and I love it because everything from rabbits to pigs, doesn't matter what stands in front of you, they go down.
Geez, you must hate rabbits.
Yeah, right. What does a rabbit look like when you've shot it with the
Well, you head shoot them when you're as good as me, the rest of it's okay.
There we go. Listen, Bushy, why don't you blow your own trumpet a little bit?
Oh, I didn't bring it.
All right, look, we're going to take a little bit of a diversion. We're going to get away just a little bit from the centerfire side of things, and we're about to move on to what have we got next on our list? Yes, the Federal True Ball.
The old True Ball.
Rifle slug.
What a great name, True Ball.
12 gauge. This is the 12 gauge, and Ferdi?
This is an incredibly accurate rifled slug.
Yes, it is.
And the way it gets its accuracy is twofold. There's a ball in between the wad and the slug itself, and that serves two functions. The first, the ball as the wad is hammered forward, the ball actually expands the back of the slug to get good obturation, good engagement with the rifling, and great concentricity on the bullet. But then also as the train of slug, ball, and wad leaves the barrel, that the ball actually centers the wad at the back, so you don't get an off center, which is what causes. And you did some testing on this.
Yeah, we did some TV on it. It shoots half the group of standard solid slugs. It's impressive how well it shoots.
And slugs can be a bit all over the place.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
They can be.
Yeah, no, that's good
But
stuff.
no, we were impressed with
Because that was over 100 yards.
Yes.
I think it was closer to 50.
It's like
Okay.
a 50 yard.
I thought we did it 100.
Oh, I don't know. That was a lot of drinks ago.
But anyway, there is a
Don't
NIOA,
take any notice.
There's a NIOA TV episode somewhere where we did test
Yeah, we
those.
did. With an ACAR.
Yeah.
Yeah. You complained that it was kicking your teeth.
I picked a bit in the end. I shot a lot of slugs through
A
it.
little bit of this.
Yeah, it might have been just 52, I think.
Yeah, I was getting soft.
I was getting excited.
It is a 1 ounce slug.
That's all right.
You're going to know when it departs the gun.
The truth is, we tried them, and
they really do work.
Same shooter, same gun, same day, and they definitely, the theory works.
No doubt about
They
it.
are more accurate. There's no doubt.
Excellent.
Right, that's the true ball.
You could say the same about the next thing, mate, because we tested that as
Hang on
well.
a second, we've got a hitch down here.
Yes.
Oh,
There
no.
we go.
There you go.
We've got the flight control buckshot.
Right, so in this case, again, extremely accurate. This is more down to the wad design itself. So actually,
Yeah,
in
it's
shot shell,
impressive.
and this is across the range of our shot shell, everything including black cloud, prairie storm. Wad design in shot shell is incredibly important because the accuracy and the patterning of the shot is determined obviously by the shot quality, shape, consistency, all of that, but also greatly by the wad separation with the shot column, and then also inside the barrel on very many of the really cheap shot shells. If you pick the wad up afterwards, you can actually see that some of the shot has
Punched clean through it.
drilled
Yeah,
through the
yeah,
side and scoured down the barrel as it goes out. Our wads are made from very, very high quality material. So in wad design, it's not just the geometry, but also the material of the wad. And then in this case, with the flight control system with the rear opening to decelerate the wad. These have also been tested to be safe through ported chokes. They work through the flight control wads, work through ported chokes.
Great.
But I think you did some testing on this as
Yeah,
well.
yes, did that as well. And we
tested those.
We patent standard federal buckshot against this flight control, and the patent size was about 40% smaller. Yeah. In fact, this is 50-yard SG ammunition, and I've never seen SG ammo you could really use at 50 yards. You can use this.
Yeah, very important too when you're getting into like 9-shot, 00 buck and things like that. You've only got 9 pellets.
There's
out
9 pellets there.
If you spread them all around the sky, well, they're just ineffective.
Exactly.
Yeah, no,
so
it's
you need
impressive.
to bunch them together, and they definitely do. There's no doubt about it.
All down to the wad design.
Yeah, indeed.
So, guys, before we move on, we've actually had a question come through just in relation to the true ball slug.
No.
They're just saying, is there an issue with the slug and chokes and that sort of stuff?
No.
So what sort of chokes are best with slugs?
Well, it's funny you should ask that.
Well, I didn't ask that. Someone from Facebook asked that.
Me being the shooter, because I recall we actually shot it through cylinder choke, which is what everybody recommends, and we did that, and it shot really well. But we were brave enough to go up to quarter choke, and that was in that ACCA little defence over and under, and I can tell you at quarter choke we didn't have any issues, and the groups were a lot tighter.
Really?
Yeah, we were quite surprised. So we'd have to go back and look at it's an ACCA TV, an early one we did, but there was no question that I would dare go past quarter choke. In fact, skeet choke, you probably just needed something just to line everything up a little tighter. But it definitely made a difference.
Yeah,
and there was no pressure, no extraction issue.
Yeah. Over the years, I've tried a few different chokes in general with solid slugs, and mostly they work better with more open chokes, but there's always a little bit of tolerance there.
Yeah.
And like anything, I would suggest some trial and error there to see how that goes. But if the question was also about the ball, there's not a problem with that because the size of it.
It's way undersized.
The size is way undersized.
Just a small nylon.
He was just wondering, she? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to presume.
But yeah, if that's the question, the ball size is not big enough that it'll go through any choke, no problem at all.
Okay, cool. No, that's great. Excellent. All right. Well, look, we're going to move away from the 12 gauge Federal, and we're going to go to something that is fairly new, a little bit innovative. And
a little bit.
All right, which has just been the most amazing thing since the invention of electricity. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you.
Here it is.
Syntech. That's more like it.
There we go.
Well, now you put yourself under pressure.
All right, so now the reason this stuff's really interesting is because of the polymer tip. Is that correct?
No,
or the polymer cartridge.
No.
Slug.
Let me have a go with this. It's a polymer jacket.
We got a walkout. Hey, is that our first walkout?
That may just be it.
Yeah, well done. Congratulations.
He had 3 goes at it.
No,
Well done. You're the first one that's got him to walk out.
it's got a red bit on it.
Yes, that's it.
So this is a synthetic jacket. So if you look at what we say here, it's so this particular one that I'm holding in my hand here is a 9mm, 115 grain TSJ, and TSJ stands for Total Synthetic Jacket.
Yep.
So it's very important to note, it's not a coating. It's not like a moly coating or a Teflon coating or something. It's not a coating, it's a jacket. And the reason why we can say that is because when you fire this 9mm round through any handgun, the jacket, this material is incredibly strong. It will completely prevent the lead from touching, even with the engraving forces, with the forcing cone, completely prevents, and we've tested this by recovering bullets out of various things. There's no metal-to-metal contact at all, so it's a lot less friction, a lot less wear on the gun. It's a lot cleaner. You can shoot this in ranges where FMJ ammunition is not allowed as well.
Yeah, because it's just a lead bullet.
Yep,
yeah,
absolutely. Very accurate, and it also has significantly less recoil than a similar grain weight, similar speed bullet in an FMJ. And I'm not quite sure even why that is. But I've shot this
because
myself.
of less resistance going down.
It could be just friction. Yeah, less
like
friction.
That. These are also all primed with a lead-free primer, so it's great for indoor ranges.
Yeah, it's basically a non-toxic round, isn't it?
Yeah, non-toxic, and the synthetic jacket is that strong that it actually prevents when the bullet hits like a backstop or a plate or something, there's significantly less breakup of the bullet. It's still going to break up,
Like
but it breaks up
splatter,
into bigger pieces. It's not that complete and total
Doesn't
splatter
shatter,
disintegration
yeah.
of a lead bullet.
Interesting.
We've actually recovered by shooting it at a plate and then picking up the fragments and measuring how much of it comes how far back. And the reduction is significant in terms of how far the lead comes back and the size of the pieces. It doesn't break up into a fine dust so much. And like I said, softer shooting, less recoil, significantly less. So compared to an FMJ with a 9mm, for example, you'd get 15, 16 degrees recoil upwards. With the same shooter, same conditions, you'd get 10.5, 11 degrees of recoil. So you can fire faster follow-up shots.
So does it shed the jacket, much of the jacket in the barrels, or what sort of residue do you get? No, almost nothing?
No, almost nothing.
Yeah, it's almost residue-free, the barrel, isn't it?
Clean. Yeah, it looks like you don't have to, it almost looks like you don't have to clean the gun afterwards. I'm not recommending that you don't, because you're still going to have some propellant residue in the rifle, in the handgun. But it is, like I said, very, very clean, and because you've only got the synthetic contacting the barrel, the wear on the barrel is also a lot lower, and it's a very accurate round. It shoots, especially the match version of this, very, very.
Been a real success for us.
We make this in a lot of different flavors and a lot of different colors.
Flavors.
So, sorry, Ferdi, I may have missed on my walkout. But
that was when it was a synthetic tip, and then it was a synthetic
slug.
slug.
Yeah, okay, let's not bring that back up. But,
I know, I like it.
Yeah, but would the barrel shoot cooler?
Yeah,
it does.
That's part of the because there's a lot less friction.
Yeah.
The whole firearm runs a lot cooler, so you get less wear.
Okay.
And it probably is also the reason why there's less recoil.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, significantly less recoil.
So in these, we've been selling a lot of this. Probably started 18 months ago, and it's our biggest selling 9mm round now. 115 grain round nose. I don't know, might be the most popular. They now have 124 that's got a slightly flat nose. They've actually got 124 in purple, if you like colour, like me.
We've got the picture right there.
Yeah, and
you got the purple one.
Yeah, we got the purple one.
They've actually got a defence round, a blue one. That's 138 grain hollow point. So and we've got them all, and there's a 150 grain action pistol load too. So there's quite a bit to pick from, all in 9mm, yeah.
And then there's other calibers?
Yeah, they do 40 Smith & Wesson and 45, but neither of those calibers are big on our market.
Oh, but they're still there for those who...
And we do have them.
Yep.
But 9mm is what we're selling in volume, yeah. It's going really well.
It's funny, because this was a slow start, and I was sceptical as well. And the first time when I saw it, I'm like, red bullet. But
yeah, no,
our biggest problem at the moment is keeping up. We've actually had to increase production capacity for this, because it just sells so well worldwide in people who do a lot of handgun shooting.
I think it's probably the best indoor range cartridge you could buy now. Yeah. Being completely non-toxic and all that.
And then it has the catalyst, CCI catalyst primer.
Yeah,
well.
No, it's a good thing.
Ah, great stuff.
Fantastic.
And very innovative. I've always said that. Now listen, that's sort of got us to the end of our federal line of ammunition. And again, this is just a small part of the federal lineup, and we just wanted to sort of give you a bit of an overview of just different things. But it's now time, Ferdi, and I'm going to get Digital Cara to find a winner. But we've got a couple of giveaways. This is our first one. Hold that up.
Look at that.
Look out.
Your favourite hunting bullet.
What have we got here?
Note the incredible expansion and adhesion of the lead. It's
like that's about 4 inches wide.
Yeah, I think we photoshopped that.
Stretched it out a bit.
But listen, we've also got a federal stubby cooler.
Priceless,
priceless.
Yeah.
So
limited edition.
Limited edition. So we've got a federal stubby cooler and a bar mat. We're going to give it away Digital Cara. Who are we going to give it away to? Daniel.
So it's not Ken's mum this time.
Daniel.
My mum's going to be very disappointed.
All right. So Daniel, please again, everyone in Facebook land, I want you to listen. Okay. Don't write your address in the comments. Send us your address via private message so that we can send you this stuff, please. Okay. Otherwise, you're going to have other people trying to.
Trying to steal your limited edition signed by Ferdi.
Yeah.
Is Ferdi going to sign this?
Oh, he would.
Oh, you'd have to sign this. All right, so Daniel Cara's going to message you. Digital Car is going to message you. These are yours, mate. We'll get them in the post.
Well done, Daniel.
Well done, buddy. Thanks for
Well
watching.
done.
And that doesn't mean turn off now either.
Yeah.
All right? Okay, but we've still got a bit more to go. And the next thing we're going to look at is, let me just get rid of the Syntech, because I thought we could probably carry the theme of,
Yeah.
you know, that
Yes, good idea, Matthew.
Have a look at that.
I knew you'd have one day.
22 red ones.
CCI.
Have a go at that.
And
And we got blue ones,
Yeah.
and we got pink
Red and
ones.
blue. Now, do you still remember which one is the high velocity?
Yes.
Yes.
Which is
The red one.
subsonic?
Red one's the high velocity.
Red one's the high velocity, blue one's the
standard
subsonic.
velocity.
So this is similar technology to the Syntech. It's a synthetic coated 22 LR. A lot of advantages to that. One of the main ones being, again, it's a very, very clean round. You can stick a bunch of these in your pocket. You won't get lead, you know, in your clothing. or anything
environmentally
like that.
friendly.
It's yes,
Sort of.
yes, sort of. And these are both 40 grains. The subsonic goes 1,070 feet per second. The high velocity 1235 feet per second. So it's good basic 22 LR ammunition. Again with a synthetic coat and color coded so you can differentiate them.
Well, see, I'm surprised before because the red ones always go faster. So why would you not know that?
They're no different to cars.
But see,
Yeah.
but see, we've achieved this by putting, I think, more powder in the red ones.
Old school.
Old school.
So, listen, we've had
Gone the convention.
we've had a question come through on Facebook. It was a bit earlier. It says, why is the CCI clean listed as subsonic when they are the same as CCI standard?
Well, standard is subsonic.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
There you
Stan-
go.
Anything
standard
that's-
velocity is subsonic.
yeah. So, but to be be a bit more technical, anything under 1,155 feet a second.
1,120 feet per second.
Yeah, whatever it is. So,
The speed of sound is 1,120 feet per second, people.
Yes.
So if any cartridge, doesn't matter what it is, with its 300 Winchester Magnum, if it does less than that, it is subsonic.
There we go. All right, question answered.
There you go. And we got pink ones.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
We haven't got them
do
yet.
Yeah,
They're
no,
coming.
Do we still want to talk about this? Or
No, I've had enough of that.
I think
Well,
we've
it's
covered
basically,
those.
it's
Blue and
that-
red.
It's that polymer.
Bring on the pink.
Bring on the pin. Here we go.
So we do have pink ones.
But we
Yeah,
don't
well,
have
we
them
don't.
here.
We
So
do not yet.
No, about
because-
September or something.
So I've just zoomed in on the picture of the
Ferdi's
22
been holding out on
clean,
us.
22 pink. So Ferdi, what's been the rationale and the thinking behind this?
Well, we can make these bullets really in any color, but this is a breast cancer awareness campaign, I guess. It's also a bit of a novelty, I guess. Having a pink bullet is it's not. There's no technical advantage to
but
having
You'd sell a lot
a
of
pink
windows.
bullet. I suppose, except if you drop it in the darkness, you'll be able to.
I would have thought they would have
it's
been made for
not-
the South African market.
I never knew there was a tick on that.
Yeah.
Again, in a bottle that'll fit.
Yeah, into your
drink
cup
holder?
holder, yeah.
Yes.
And they are high velocity, not subsonic.
Yes.
Oh, the
Yes,
pink
they
ones.
are. Yes,
Yes,
they are.
pink ones.
1235.
Pink one.
They're the same speed as the red one.
Built for speed,
built,
mate.
Built for speed.
So-
And listen, I don't think we should also discount. I think the cause for,
No,
for
not
federal.
at all.
I think that's a great cause to be associated with, and I think it's a wonderful thing that CCI are doing with that. So it's a good thing.
And what does CCI stand for, Ferdi?
Oh, we had
Come
this
on,
today.
Ferdi.
Cascade Cartridge Incorporated.
Ah,
There you go. Look at that.
Yes.
Captain CCI.
Yes.
We had a bit of debate about that earlier on, but yeah, Cascade Cartridge Incorporated.
There you go. Goes
Okay.
back a long way.
Go.
Yeah.
So there we go. We've had the red, we've had the blue, we've had the pink. All right. So I think something that we do need to talk about, Bushy. It's our number one best seller, I believe.
Yes.
It's C35
TCI white
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, white box.
Yes.
standard velocity.
CCI white box that comes in a blue box.
Why was it called white box?
Because that's what it used to come in. I started selling that back in the 80s when CCI first offered it, and it was in a white packet. It was the only CCI in a white packet. And Australians being Australians, they said, give me the white box. So that's what they called it, CCI white box.
And it's stuck.
And it's stuck, and it's in a blue box now, but it's still the most popular Rimfire cartridge probably in the world.
in the world.
I would have bought a
Interesting-
heap of white box from you, Bushy.
Oh, shoveled it into him.
An interesting interesting fact about CCI 35 is that it is probably the cartridge that's produced by far in the highest volume in the world. More than 223, more than 9, or more than anything.
Has its own production
on a per
plant.
unit basis.
Yeah, amazing.
It's been around for so long.
You've been
it's
in
by
CCI
far.
Yep. I've seen where the machine that just loads that cartridge and nothing
Wow,
else.
okay.
It's all it does.
And as a result, the process is extremely well sorted. It's very, very modern machinery, very, very consistent rounds. In fact, if your rifle don't shoot with this, then you can throw it away.
Or pistol.
What?
Yeah,
What?
Yeah.
The ammunition of the rifle.
The rifle.
Oh,
the
I was going to
rifle.
say.
Yeah.
oh,
Get a better
we
rifle.
need to
Yeah.
clarify.
Get a
Yeah,
better
yeah,
rifle.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So look, Bushy, I don't want to sort of maybe go into numbers and all
Me?
that sort of thing.
Numbers.
but
I'm good at numbers.
on a scale of like, okay, the smallest being, you know, a smidge versus a crap load.
A crap load.
How much do we sell of that in Australia?
A crap load more than 20 million rounds a year.
Whoa. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. No, and it's because it functions in everything. You know, I've got to say, it mainly goes down handgun barrels. I'm not saying people don't use it in rifles, but for semi-auto function, people have a lot of trouble with other brands of ammo. Not allowed to name them here. But you go and buy this stuff, functions beautifully. I'm not saying it's the best match ammunition.
No.
If you're actually capable of shooting a handgun really well, there's no reason why you couldn't step up and buy something better. But for a practice competition, well, yeah, even competition, this ammo will shoot better than most people can shoot. So, yeah, it's brilliant because it just functions. It doesn't hang up, doesn't cause problems.
Just for anybody that doesn't know, it's a 40 grain, 1070 foot per second lead round nose.
Yeah, it's a simple little cartridge
Very,
that
very
works really well.
straightforward,
But the tolerances are obviously really good and just work in most things. I know for 20 years I stood behind a counter and that would, if people were having trouble with cycling through semi-automatic pistols particularly, I'd say, try this.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, most of the time it fixed the problem.
And it's loaded on this massive plate loader.
Yeah.
You got to see it. Like, it's just, I remember
Well, it's
walking
go.
in and looking in and going, is that how they make it? I couldn't believe it. It was really weird, wild how they make it.
Oh, it's,
We've had a question come through on Facebook. So it would probably just come back a bit.
A lot of
from that one.
questions.
Yeah, there are a lot of questions.
Wow.
Someone's
Ferdi's
asked,
popular.
Can you tell us more about the Subsonic petition?
partition.
Petition.
Is that the...
No. You're talking about segmented.
Is it segmented?
Segmented,
okay.
which is
Are we
probably...
We're getting to that.
Yeah.
It's coming.
It's there.
We'll
It's
get to
coming.
that.
Yep.
So, yep, no, that's fine. We'll get there
We
very
will
soon.
get there.
Be patient. Hang around. Make yourself a cup of tea. It's going to be good.
Yeah, I think
We've pretty much...
Ferdi's story on the segmented
Oh,
is going to be
oh,
something
you want it.
you wouldn't want to miss.
I laughed. I tell you, it was hilarious. So yeah, make sure you hang around.
Wait till we get to
I
VNT.
don't remember that story.
Yeah.
You'll have
about
to
to.
prompt me.
All right. Now, next what we've got is the 17 HMR VNT 17 grain tipped.
Yes.
Yellow.
Yep.
We don't have a box of it.
No,
yet,
we don't
do
have it
we?
here,
No.
but they are.
No, we've got a picture of it.
We got a
Yep.
picture of it.
We sold it all again.
So this is popular ammunition, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the VNT bullet there is our own bullet, again made in the Speer factory. It's got a yellow plastic tip.
Why yellow?
Well, we found that if you make the tip yellow,
Yeah.
it shoots considerably better than if you make the tip red. We used to make them red, but
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Ferdi, I'm not convinced.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm
Not
convinced by that story either.
I thought it was more about the Spanish version, amarillo. It just sounds so nice when you say that.
So who decided to make it yellow? Was that you?
no, I did not make it yellow. I think it was an engineering decision.
An engineering decision?
Wow.
Sounds more like a marketing
Yeah,
decision.
that's
to me.
marketing.
But again,
Some designer has said, I want a yellow one.
So once again, obviously, the 17 HMR is and especially in this caliber, it's really a varminting cartridge. So it'd be a
Of your
fox shooting,
categories, yes.
bunny shooting,
We're
all
back
of those.
into messing things up
Yeah.
territory again.
I was going to go with keeping the numbers down, but messing things up.
Well, one is a
essentially, yes.
consequence of the other.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, not for meat hunting, obviously, but yeah,
Okay.
really good little, and accurate as well, being a Speer bullet.
Cool. And if we move ahead, again, we don't have the box here, but we've got a picture of the box here. This is the VNT 17 Mark II. Tell me a little bit about this one, Ferdi, and the difference between the previous one.
The Mark II is just it's a shorter 17 caliber rimfire round. I mean, most people who own a 17 Mark II rifle will be familiar with it, but the bullet is basically the same. It's going to go a little bit slower than the regular 17 Mark.
I would have thought it got a bit slower, yeah.
You would have thought.
Yeah.
But yes.
Mach 2 is not twice the speed of sound.
No, I wouldn't have thought
Do you
so.
have an opinion on the 17 Mark II?
Yeah, don't buy one. Well, to be honest, virtually no one is making ammunition for it now.
Well,
Ely used to make it 100 years ago, so did CCI, been discontinued for, gee, I would have thought 7 or 8 years or something. We used to sell Marlins in it many years ago. But the thing is, it came out after 17 HMR. Why would you want a slower version? And that's why it just never got any traction. We already had one that was faster and just as accurate.
Hang on,
so,
just
oh, you again?
Yeah, I just want to, just so I understand this correctly.
I'll make you walk off.
Yeah, okay. But you're asking people not to buy something we sell.
No, the rifle. Don't buy a rifle.
Oh, the rifle.
Yeah,
Right,
buy
okay.
the ammunition.
But if
you already got a rifle.
if you already have a rifle,
This is the ammunition. Keep up.
Sorry, I've had a big day.
But if you haven't got the rifle, don't bother. Just buy a 17 HMR.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. That's the point.
But if you've got a rifle,
and then buy the
our
17
ammunition.
HMR.
Yeah, 17 HMR won't fit in your Mac 2.
With the improved yellow tips that
Oh
are
yeah,
apparently more accurate.
More accurate.
absolutely.
All right. Well, look. Moving on from that, and this is getting back to the question from that the gentleman asked earlier, and that is about the segmented.
Well, this particular one's high velocity too. I've noted he asked about the subsonic because there is a subsonic as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
I was paying attention.
Well, I'm glad someone
you
was.
were. You were.
Right.
So the segmented hollow point rimfire bullet is basically a it has internal weak points or skiving that causes it when it hits the target or game that you're hunting, breaks up into 3 distinct pieces. So it causes 3 wound channels. It basically
Yeah,
goes
and
like
it
that.
splits like that. So it's not
Splits
breaking that way. It's actually just breaking into 3 bits.
Yes, so rather than a conventional mushroom that you'd get with just a standard hollow point, here you get 3 distinct wound
It's
channels.
quite impressive, yeah.
Yeah, and it'll do that at lower velocities. It'll get good terminal effect even at lower velocities in terms of, and this would be small game hunting that it applies to. Now, what was the story that we had about that? I can't
Story?
remember.
There's a story about that.
There's a story?
Somebody said I said something funny about it, and I don't remember.
Oh, well, I don't know. You were telling
No.
a story.
Yeah, I don't know. But
The source where that came from was dubious.
Yes.
right.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Well,
you got to remember where that came from.
well,
Okay, so that's the
So it's available in high velocity
Well,
and
yes,
subsonic.
Subsonic. Yeah.
We sell both, and it sells quite well.
So
It's,
what-
it's a unique product.
And
Yeah.
do you see any level of difference in performance from subsonic to high velocity?
Look, I think so. It's I think it's one of those things too where if some people shoot where they shouldn't, and they really don't want a bullet to keep travelling, and this because it breaks into 3 paces, it just instantly goes apart inside of whatever you've shot it, and it just won't go any further. And I think you could almost call it a little bit frangible sort of thing. Even though it's not breaking into a lot of pieces, it just will not exit whatever you've shot. So
Yeah.
I think that's probably something fairly true.
So it's probably less likely to ricochet as well.
Oh, I don't think it'll
Yeah.
ricochet at all. Yeah. Correct.
Well, that I guess leads into our next cartridge, which is, we're talking about things at subsonic, which are certainly, I guess, a bit quieter than the usual, because obviously. But we're now looking at this particular product here, which is the CCI.
the quiet.
And this is remarkably quiet, isn't it?
Yeah, but the quiet goes 710 feet per second,
Yep.
so that's significantly below
That's
the speed of
way-
sound.
Way subsonic.
Yeah, and we have 2 versions of this. We have the quiet semi-auto as well.
There's 3 versions of it because
3
we've got a
versions,
hollow
yeah.
point version
Oh,
of
yeah,
it as well. Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot
Yeah.
about the hollow
Yeah.
point. But the quiet, basically, you can shoot without. You don't need a suppressor to.
Well,
for it to
it's
be
quieter than
quiet.
shooting an air rifle.
It's
Yeah, it's
essentially,
very
yes.
quiet ammunition.
You
Yeah.
can when you shoot this in my 22, I can hear the firing pin
Yeah.
and that or everything working more so than you don't hear a pop, and there's certainly not much of a supersonic crack. So it's a very discreet. It's also great for, and I haven't mentioned this before, but when you're teaching your kids to shoot, because there's no.
Loud crap.
There's
You can
no
shoot it all
loud
day without
crap
hearing
or
protection.
anything
There's
like
no
that.
way you
Yeah,
harm your hearing. There's no
absolutely.
noise
You
virtually.
would, this you could shoot without
Yeah.
hearing protection. So it's a still, you know, it's a 40 grain bullet, 710 feet per second. So you can use it for hunting rabbits and
Yeah, on the hollow point version it'd be
that
better,
kind of size.
but it's only
hollow point version, yeah.
it's only a 20-yard round really. You wouldn't use it a lot much further than that, I don't think.
And I guess too, Bushy, from that, you know, we've also then from that we've got the quiet semi-auto 45 grain.
Yeah, and not that we have semis really, but like our Savage A22R, it'll cycle that, whereas it won't with the standard because that little bit more bullet weight
Okay.
at about 20 feet per second more, I think. So, yeah, and it'd probably be a whisker noisier, but I bet you it's still really quiet. I haven't shot any of that yet. That's brand new. We've only just got that.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting variation on, you know, 22 ammo, and a lot of people actually don't buy an air rifle now because these things are quieter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon it's
And
smashed codes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
The
yeah.
cane toad round
Oh, yeah. Good
Oh,
cane
yeah.
toad round.
work for that.
Yeah.
All right, so don't forget, people, if you've got any questions about CCI, make sure you get on Facebook, start typing them in. We've only got 30 here today, and again, he is the absolute guru on all this stuff. Again, I can't stress that enough. So we're going to look at our next range, which is the 22 WMR Game Point.
All right, so this is a 22 Magnum.
That's your hunting thing, mate.
Yes.
Got
so
the hunting bullet in it.
Well, yes. So it'd be a small game hunting.
Still hunting.
Yep, 2,100 feet per second. On this one, a pack of 200 rounds. Grain weight. So it's 35 grain. It's not the lightest of bullets, but it's obviously a really fast, really good small game. If you have a 22 Magnum, you want to do small game hunting. And for foxes as well, this will work. If you want to eat the fox.
Sure.
Again, you know, you're able to use this because it's a conventional mushrooming bullet, not a varminting bullet that gets explosive
Yeah.
expansion.
Aren't we having
mushroom.
fox and salad after this? For
That wouldn't be good at all.
Yes, so small sized game.
But it's an impressive bullet. It just mushrooms, eh? And it's a lot more penetration than a standard 40 grain hollow point that we sell because they really open up. Whereas this tends to punch through a bit more.
Be good for feral dog as well.
Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't be good for them. They need a Medicare card, mate.
The next, and we're starting to get ourselves down to the narrow point here, gentlemen. We're starting to get towards the end, but the suppressed 22LR 45 grain hollow point.
Right. So
Tell us-
we don't have the actual.
We don't actually have the
example of
box
it
on
here,
that,
yes.
but we do have the picture on the thing. So, Ferdi, another great round from CCI.
Yep, absolutely. So this is also the one that goes at 710 feet per
No,
second.
970.
970.
Yeah.
So it's faster, suppressed.
Like the federal
Yeah.
one, only with a
similar.
hollow point.
Yes, yes. So it's got basically a big hollow point, fairly thin wall at the front, so as to get a nice expansion with lower impact velocities that you get at that lower kind of subsonic velocities.
And that's a fairly heavy bullet weight for a 22.
It's a
For a
40
22
45,
45,
yeah.
45. So I don't
45.
think I've ever shot a bullet that heavy in a 22 before.
I have.
Yeah. Well, you've been everywhere.
Yeah.
You're like Marco Polo, Bushy. Been everywhere, done everything.
And the 40,
Shot everything.
The 45, I think, in this one, the 45 grain bullet will also more reliably cycle semi-automatic 22s.
Yeah,
You've
correct.
got a bit more,
Yeah, it would.
And
bit more punch.
I guess that's a good thing too when you've got that low velocity, but you've got a little bit more bullet weight, so you're going to have a little bit more thump at the other end as well. So that's a handy
Yeah,
thing.
absolutely.
In a subsonic cartridge that is not like the quiet, but it's going to be
It'd still be pretty
relatively-
quiet. Yeah, 970s.
970s.
Pretty
970
quiet
is not
ammunition.
Too
Yeah.
noisy.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So if you've got a use for that kind of thing, need something that's not too noisy and still got a little bit of knockdown.
Yeah.
Okay, so just stand by. We're just attempting to reconnect here, and the stream has resumed. We're back, people.
Have we been unstreamed?
No, we just had a little bit of a glitch. There was a
Yeah,
little
glitch.
glitch in the system.
Was
What I
it-
think
Do you
happened
think it
was
was Kara's fault?
no. What I think happened was the internet was just not prepared for Ferdi's awesomeness. So, I mean, obviously, with the amount of people logging on now to
mate.
see Ferdi,
The check is
stuff
in the mail,
happens.
mate.
Stuff happens.
So was Ferdi short for something?
Ferdinand, yes.
Yeah, I thought it might have been.
Oh.
But it's only his middle name.
Yeah.
Oh. for.
That's a pretty posh name, actually.
Yeah, it is.
Now, listen, have we got the game point here?
No.
No, we don't. Okay, well, I'll zoom in on this one.
We've got the
and Ferdi,
VNT
tell us a little bit about the VNT, 22 WMR, 30 grain
with a yellow tip.
with the yellow tip.
Sorry, run me through that again because we haven't got it here.
No, it's the VNT.
Yeah, we have. It's right here.
Oh,
I'm looking at it.
Oh, okay.
He's blind in both eyes.
Correct. So this is
You're losing
again,
it.
Come on, Ferdi.
We spoke about we covered the yellow tip. So this is again a tipped round, 30 grain in a 22 Magnum. It's going to be going
Another
pretty
Speer
fast,
bullet, is it?
2,200. Yep.
Yep.
Spear bullet. It's going to be going very, very fast.
Yep.
It will be devastating for smaller pest animals.
Foxes.
typically. Foxes, beautiful fox.
Anti-fox
shooting
today.
around.
Yep.
Yep. But this will get explosive expansion. It's not.
Oh, yeah.
It's not for you eating foxes. This is for the ones that you want to throw away.
This is for the kind of fox you're angry at because it's been amongst your chooks.
Yeah,
Yes.
that one. Yeah.
Really angry with him.
And these are
Because you'd
also,
rather eat your chickens.
they're actually like little jewels. They're
Yeah.
so these
Nickel
have the
case.
nickel-plated cases.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah, very special.
Oh, nickel.
Looks like it
They
came
They
out
are,
of a
they are
jewelry
nice
shop.
looking cards.
They look too nice to shoot.
extremely accurate. In the States, this is like a prairie dog, a good prairie
Oh,
dog
yeah.
round. Yeah.
Okay.
Because over there they shoot.
Oh, they love it.
I love the prairie dog shooting.
Yeah.
We need to introduce them here.
You introduce some prairie dogs, so we'd have something
Absolutely.
like that. Yeah,
We
it's
could
a
sell
lot,
more
it's a lot
ammunition
of
that
fun.
way.
Those that prairie dog shooting, but so similar kind of things. It's a explosive expansion, really fast. 22 Magnum, 30 grain. Can't go wrong for small varmints.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
Oh, there
Well,
you go.
look, that's our again just a small smattering of the CCI
Small
range.
gas board.
Yeah. So that's been really great, Ferdi, for you to sort of define that. Don't forget, people, if you still got questions, send them in. Just type them up. Digital Cara will get them to us. But I thought, look, just as a quick aside before we sort of start to wrap things up, let's talk projectiles. And when you're speaking projectiles, let's talk spear.
Spear. Right.
And we're going to start with the Varmint HP.
That one, I think. There we
There
go.
we
Big
go,
one.
yeah,
Big one.
so big,
Nice new package.
Oh, actually, before we start,
which is also
guys,
changing.
30, before
Yes.
we start on that, mate, we've actually just had a question come through, and is that, what was it, was the digital car?
Does Federal make any Weatherby Magnum rounds?
Does Federal make any Weatherby Magnum rounds?
No.
We
Not anymore, I don't think.
do.
You
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, you must have brought them back.
I think so. We make and I must confess that it's a very, very large list of calibers that we
Yeah.
make.
Yeah, don't quote me. I probably just don't bring it in.
I'm pretty sure. Is it possible to take that one on notice? Because I'm pretty confident we do.
We would
Yeah,
take
you
that
certainly
one on
used to.
notice.
Yeah, we used to.
The
But
fact that-
I probably discontinued it because,
could-
sorry, it's not that popular.
Could be, but yeah, if there's call for it, we probably can supply it.
Yeah, we certainly don't have any in stock.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
There you go.
Okay, let's get back to the Speer Varmint HP. Speer has been a synonymous brand for making great projectiles for many years. In fact, I think Bushy was instrumental in getting Speer started, weren't you, Bushy? I mean, that's how long you've been selling Speer for.
I'm not that old.
Okay. But look, how did Speer get started?
Oh yes, well that's the original farm where would used to be a farm in Lewiston that was bought by the guy who started Speer Bullets.
Vernon Speer.
Vernon Speer.
Okay.
And the factory, I believe, originally was a chicken farm, and the barn was where the first bullets were made. But it's a very different operation today. Very, very big,
Oh, yeah.
modern factory.
Chickens aren't there.
And no
No, I never saw any.
and the Speer hollow point bullet, both the TNT and the Varmint hollow point bullets, are incredibly accurate. Now I like a hollow point bullet. For
Yeah, you're a
several
convert,
reasons.
aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're
Myself?
getting- You're right, you're getting a bit emotional. Come
I'm
on.
getting
Yeah,
a bit
okay,
emotional,
you're right.
but myself, I prefer them over plastic tip bullets
Okay.
for the most part. And this particular one, nice big
Yeah, it's
big
Cavernous.
hollow point.
our biggest
cavernous
selling
hollow
projectile.
point.
Yeah.
Yes.
130 grain. If you want to load a big shooting round, this is the bullet to put in it.
It's awesome.
it's like 130 grain 30 cal bullet. I think we said you could probably, I haven't done it, but you could probably do a 300 Win Mag load with that. That would
Be a bit scary.
be a bit scary.
That'd be hopping
Oh
along.
no, not this one. Yeah, that'd be hopping along too much.
Is that the bullet that's in those?
Yeah, it is,
In
yeah.
those American Eagle.
Yeah, right.
Same one.
Yeah, they're great bullets.
And they do
and
it.
they're accurate.
They
too.
do it a lot of things, eh? 2252 grain. They do a 6mm 75 that's super popular. A 25 100, a 270 100.
I like
And
the
this
50
is the biggest one.
The 52 grain.
But they,
bullets in
wow,
the
they're
22 cal.
just devastating results.
Okay.
Is all I can say.
Well, the other pack, the final pack that we've got to go through today, Bushy, is the Bondi
Grand
Premium
Slam.
Grand Slam.
Yep.
So,
This is a Ferdi stuff,
right,
eh?
Ferdi.
And this
Oh,
is the thing
one
about
where I
bullets.
suggest
He's
you
a
can
samba shooter.
And
See?
this is the thing. I mean, you couldn't get two bullets further apart, really.
Oh, exactly.
They're
Yes,
totally
yes.
different bullets.
Yeah.
This is again those categories. So you
Yeah.
have, this one is a varminting bullet, explosive expansion, don't care about meat spoilage, just want to put down the animal as fast as possible. And this one is a bonded bullet, so you're looking for high weight retention, good penetration, but at the same time a nice expansion to get good energy dump and a good transfer of energy. So bonded bullet, this one is 150 grain, controlled expansion, deep penetration. So if you want to load just a great deer hunting round, I'd say
Yeah, probably the 180
This
grain
one,
version
right.
of that is
Yeah, the
our most
180 grain.
popular
Yeah.
Grand Slam bullet we sell. It's a premium bullet, and it's you know, those of you using Speer will know this, but over the last 12 months, the price is almost halved. These guys
Yeah.
have worked out a way to make them for half the money. They're just the same bullets, and we are selling heaps of them, crap loads of them.
well, it's
well, and that was the thing. When did that deal come? Was that?
It was about a year ago.
About a year ago,
Yeah,
yeah.
and it's significant. The
Oh,
like
yeah.
Like if
our
you're,
increase
if you're
in
into
sales.
reloading,
Yeah.
and these they,
Excellent price, excellent
Yeah.
product.
great price.
Have a look at the Spear range across generally,
Oh,
just
yeah.
because there are some really good options in there, and as you said, the price is really
They
good.
make a nice 400 grain flat nose, mate, in 45 cal. I love it.
45.
Yeah.
I have trouble squeezing that into my 222.
Yeah.
Well, the-
You squeeze anything.
Not sure how I'm going to do that.
If you use enough force, you can do that. But no, this is really actually a premium hunting bullet at a pretty great price.
Oh,
Bushy. I mean, we've
amazing
dropped the
price.
price on these
Yeah.
things, and we've seen a lot of uptake on,
Yep.
on the Spear range because it's just such an awesome bullet for the money. Can't go wrong.
okay, so listen, we've got a few questions
Really?
that have come through. Some have been a little bit difficult to read. I think some of you just been wanting to get your questions down a bit quick. We can't quite understand it, but are the suppressor rated out of a pistol or rifle for that spec?
Speed.
Speed. Sorry, digital card.
yeah, right.
Yeah, no, that's a good question.
Yeah, it's
I
barrel
think
length
I think
always
they're
has
all
enough
done in
for it.
rifles.
Yeah, the suppressor ones would be, my guess would be rifle typically. However, with the rimfire loads, the amount of velocity drop that you're going to see out of a pistol is not as
Dramatic.
Yeah, but when you're talking about getting down to 900,
Oh,
I can
yeah,
see
yeah.
I can see the point. That's probably only 800 out of a handgun or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
But it's like from my recollection, everything is metered out of a rifle barrel. You know, and don't quote me, but I think it's about a 20-inch rifle barrel. It's not a handgun velocity.
no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's going to be a little bit slower than that.
yeah, it will be a little bit slower. Correct. Yeah.
Okay, good question. We've got a couple more. Sean asks, how do you go about choosing or selecting ammunition? I guess this comes back to your...
Back to the unifying theory of ammunition. Exactly. Choosing or selecting ammunition, you first decide the purposes. You're talking about hunting, varminting, target shooting, and then go from there. A lot of it is down to personal preference as well, and you have to decide. Look, budget is part of it, but every ammunition manufacturer, ourselves included, really try and we I think are probably more technical than most brands. We focus a lot on getting the technical stuff 100% right. So there is on the federal website an ammo recommendation tool that you can use.
Yeah, that's
You can
right.
go in on that and type the purpose and what you want to do, and it'll recommend an ammunition for you. But some of our applications in different territories like Australia and that is a little different. Like, for example, that 130 grain Speer hollow point, if you asked me, if you said, well, I want to go big shooting, I'd go, take that. Or if you like the idea of the 450 Bushmaster, like a straight walled cartridge, both will do the job, right? You're going to get more range with the 130 grain. I'd say if you're going to be shooting longer ranges, you obviously want to use a 308. It's just going to have a longer effective range than the 450 Bushmaster. So all of those things come in. How far do you want to shoot? What terminal effect you want to achieve?
Yeah, it's a pretty long story, really.
Yeah,
isn't it?
exactly.
Yeah.
And you can get a bunch of guys who would be, well, girls who would be experts in ammunition in the same room, have a few beers, and nobody would agree on this. Some people will go, oh, this thing is perfect for this, and then they go, no, I wouldn't use that.
I reckon they
would
would.
this. Everyone would agree.
I think it's probably more relevant that in choosing wisely the ammunition, the type that you're going to use with the caliber that you have, because you could have an appropriate caliber, but pick the wrong ammunition for the purpose, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So I think that's probably relevant, and I think that goes back to the greatest theory since Albert Einstein about this. What do you call that?
Ferdi's, Ferdi's?
The unifying theory.
Unifying theory.
I think it does
This is
come
gonna-
back to that, and I think that simplifies it a bit. Saying, are you hunting? Are you shooting? Do you want to keep what you're shooting? Do you
Look, another one.
Are you just trying
Oh, we've got stats.
to knock it over?
Oh,
You know?
Kenny?
Okay, so
More.
we've got a couple
But
of
I would always say, just want to finish on that selection, always when you're choosing hunting ammunition, use proper bonded ammunition, not some marketing gimmick. Pick an ammunition that's a true bonded thing. I would personally recommend Fusion. We make it. But
You love it.
whatever you do, make sure you use bonded ammunition for hunting. It's the way to go. You can hunt with non-bonded ammunition, but it's not optimal. It'll work, but your optimal solution is bonded ammunition, which is why we have that at a price point that's not much higher than most traditional, like non-bonded ammo.
So look, just quickly, we've just got a couple more questions to get through, and this one's a bit difficult. And I think Ken, you sort of touched on it before, depending on the rifle being used and all that sort of stuff. But someone's saying, what would you consider to be the most accurate 22 LR round? But I guess, would you say C35 or no? Okay.
Especially in rimfire.
It's difficult.
It's the rifle.
So
like some rifles will shoot CCI Stinger, which is a super high velocity like that. Like there isn't an answer to that question.
Yeah,
Standard velocity will generally outshoot high velocity, but not every time.
But we do have, for example, that Hunter Match, Federal Hunter Match, which is a very accurate 22.
But even
rimfire
CCI
round for
Minimag, the
hunting.
standard high velocity hollow point in CCI, we shoot during TV, it shoots amazingly well.
Yeah.
I could tell a short story about that.
How
Some years ago, I bought a brand new Anschutz 22 rifle, right? And I was in the shop at the time, so I picked off the shelf 12. I wanted to use hollow point high velocity ammunition because I wanted to hunt with it. So I took down 12 different types of ammunition. Out of those 12 different types, only 2 of them shot acceptably, 8 of them. 1 of them shot really well, 2 of them acceptably, and the rest were unacceptable as far as I was concerned.
Okay.
So that's kind of what you get. You've just got to try it and see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rifles have their own personality.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Well spotted.
Yeah. So that was the result out of 12. So
Okay, we'll just quickly end up probably with this question because time is ticking on. But what makes the 708 shoot so flat?
Ah, right.
I'm baffled with all my loads.
708 shoots a flat. It's
There's lots of things that shoot
shoot
flatter.
flatter. Yeah, that's right. I mean, the 7mm projectile is very aerodynamic for
It
a
is
start.
ballistically wonderful.
Yeah.
but the 7mm is a relatively flat shooting cartridge. I mean, compared to something like a 3006 or something like that, it's a, and if you load something high enough, it'll go very, very flat for for the first bit.
It is a product of velocity
Yes,
versus
exactly.
bullet efficiency and all sorts.
velocity and aerodynamics of the bullet's really what.
Yeah, and
determines
I
how
would
flat
say
it's
more
gonna shoot.
aerodynamics because you see the long range guys are pushing more into 6.5 and 7 mil,
Oh, yeah.
and that's because those two bullets have the best ballistic coefficients of all the calibers, and that's a reason why your 7mm 08 will shoot so flat.
Well, listen, we're going to start to wrap things up because we've gone way over time today.
Have we?
Oh yeah, we have. It's
it
been
been
so
really great?
exciting. So just hold that up, Ferdi.
Full shot.
Okay, so we've got the next fusion, we've got the Federal, and this is going out to another person who's been asking questions here at NIOA TV Livestream, and our winner is Ron Lean. Congratulations,
Congratulations,
Yeah, Ron.
Ron.
So you've won yourself
Good on
a
you.
Federal Fusion bar mat and, of course, the stubby cooler, which will be great on those Friday afternoons.
And remember, drink responsibly.
And a date with Ferdi.
And
Oh, hang on a second. We don't want to.
Oh, hang on, that was a different show. Sorry.
You've been so quiet up to now.
It's
it would've
Friday
been good if
afternoon
it
at
stayed like
4:30. I get very, very.
So listen, Ron,
4
just get
seconds?
on there, give us a private message. Digital Cara will make sure that those prize packs get sent out to you. Now listen, thank you very much for sticking with us today. It's been great, Ferdi, to have you up. We've really appreciated you taking the time.
Thank you very much for
Thanks
having
again.
me.
No,
here.
mate, it's been
Thank
really
you.
good because I guess just quickly, Bushy, it's you know, as a supplier, you know, and we do all sorts of products, loopholes and all these sorts of things. We really do have some quality people looking after us in that area. Don't
we need it, mate.
we do.
Yeah,
need
yeah.
it. And Ferdi's no exception, is he?
Yeah, no, brilliant. This company's awesome to deal with, and
Yeah.
Ferdi's really special.
Thank you very much.
Oh, he's special.
I think that showed up during the
You're
the
special too,
afternoon.
Bushy.
Yeah.
To
But
me
listen,
at least.
just so you know, we were just doing this as a bit of a trial to see how our live stream would go once a month, every month. We thought we'd trial it for 3 months just to see how it goes, and this is the third one, so technically it was going to be our last live stream, but I've heard it, it's straight off the press, it's from our manager himself, Paul Brent, has said we're going to try another one, just to see how
Try
it goes.
one.
Oh,
I reckon we're going to do another one.
we're going to do another one,
Yeah.
and next month, Bushy, it's going to be...
ACAR shotguns.
Okay, we're going to talk things all ACAR shotguns. Listen, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Ferdi. And we look forward to seeing
Right.
you next time on
NIOA
NIOA TV
TV.
live stream. Catch you then.
Cheers, everyone.
See ya.
And we are